Yo, what's good everybody? It's Green Onion here again. And as you can tell from all these cars on the table, today I'm going to be showing you some of my various custom builds. I'm sorry if I'm trying to stay quiet, my family's asleep, so I'm recording this video in the basement. So I'm going to show you some of my restorations and custom builds today. So first up, let's start out with the restorations. We got this Matchbox Ford tractor. I like this casting. I found this at a yard sale. Or no, I didn't. Never mind. Crap, I forgot. This one was one of my mother's old cars. And I patched it up and repaired it into what you see now. New coat of blue. Some details in the front. The wheels never had the silver on it, so I added the silver, polished up the base, and put it back together. And I know that's not a screw, that's a nail, but that's on a button end of a nail that I glued on there. That's before I was able to screw rivets in because I didn't have a tap and die, so yeah. There's our Ford tractor. I don't really have before and after pics. I don't have a before of this car, I never took a picture of it, so we just have the beautiful after. Another Matchbox restoration that I did is this Porsche here. This Porsche Turbo. It's a Matchbox super fast. You can get a close up. This car is originally just plain silver, but I gave it trim, I added that license plate detail, gave it headlights. Most of the pictures I've saw of real cars of this car had these rims like this. The rims in this car are originally chrome, but I changed them to this. Then you can see the back. I added that rear lights and the tail details and stuff. I did mess up on the windshield, so it's a little scratched, but that's fine. It's annoying. Add the little door knob thingy. Yeah, the windshield's kind of bad, but the interior was originally some ugly red, so I repainted it. I keep forgetting the doors open on this car. Repainted it in a nice black. And yeah, this is an awesome car because it's got opening doors. How cool is that? It's so awesome. That is just amazing. Wish we could go back to that today in Hot Wheels Matchbox. Have opening doors in that. Metal on metal and opening doors. Can't beat a casting like this. That's awesome. I actually have another copy of this back over here. He is, I think he's soaking in the acetone right now. But yeah, to get rid of the paint, I have like another identical copy of that that'll paint a different color. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. And then we got, this is a Hot Wheels Redline. This is the Mercedes-Benz 280 SL. This is also before I had screws for the rivets, so I just glued this one together. But anyway, this car was originally missing its hood. So if you notice closely, this hood doesn't match the car. That's because the hood comes from the 56 Merc casting. So I just borrowed the hood from it and slapped onto this car. It's not perfect, but I think it works decent for a hood. I like the blue windows. I added the silver trim with a Sharpie. Didn't give it rear lights. I should have given it rear lights. Detailed the Mercedes badge on the back, polished up the front, and then it had these really nasty original Redline wheels. I think I have one still over here somewhere. Yeah, these had these wheels on it, but they're really beat up. The axles are bent, and there's hair in them and everything. So I had to snip them off, and I replaced them with these basic PR5s. So yeah, I know they're not Redline wheels, but I would put regular Redlines on them, but I don't want to go to eBay and have to pay whatever price for it. So yeah, no thanks. I like the car how it turned out, and once again, this is why Redlines are awesome. opening features. You can't beat opening features. Metal on metal opening features. No, the hood doesn't fit right, but... Alright, then we move on to my actual custom builds, which are these cars over here. Which one should we start with? We got... Start with this Datsun. Or actually, no, let's start with the Skyline. This is my first attempt at making like a rusty barn car. There we go. Put the for sale sign in there, smash the window, and you can actually make it look like it's been, I don't know, it gives it more of a smashed look if you take a pliers and you kind of bend it outwards like that, in my opinion. Then you can use just a basic lighter, heat up the tires, and then squish them onto a table to get the flat look. And then since most of these old junky cars, people like swap out the parts from other cars and never repaint it. That's why I painted this fender red, kind of simulates that. And of course it's very rusty. I didn't strip the paint off of this one, rather I just sanded it down. Come on, wheel. Rather I just sanded it down with a sandpaper and it just eliminated that glossy sheen, kind of hit it with a matte clear coat. Also smashed the rear window, kind of did up the back a little. Actually snipped off this wheel and glued in a different wheel to simulate that a rim changing or something, and then bent the wheel out of place to make it look like the suspension is damaged or something. Same with this wheel, if you can tell it's a little bit bent outwards. Yeah, that was a fun one to make. It originally started out as this one from the E case. It was a supercharger hunt, which looks so beautiful. I have it in my collection. So thankful for that. But here's my custom. I love that casting. Actually, that wasn't my first attempt at a rusty custom. There's actually this Nissan Skyline R30. But I really didn't like the way this turned out. I used a brush to put on the rust on this one, versus this I used a sponge. And as you can tell, I really don't like the way this turned out, so yeah, I don't know what's going to become of him, but for now he's just a body. Alright, the other rusty build, rusty car, is this Datsun 620. This one I kind of changed my rust technique a little. On this car is my first one. You can still see some of the silver. I don't really like that much, but I'm not going to go back and change it now. But on this Datsun, I eliminated that by putting a brown coat under first, and then putting the kind of lighter golden brown that you see in the top to simulate more of a detailed rust look. Once again, sanded away the decals, so they're not completely gone, but they look faded. Added rust more along areas that would be heavily rusted, like the wheel wells. I drilled out headlights with a Dremel to make sure that they're smashed out. This one doesn't have a cracked windshield. Let's give it like a little crack. Once again, more rust. I actually smashed this car with a hammer to bend it, if you can see the side, to simulate it's been hit by a car or something like that in a crash. Then again, more rust. Changed out this door and put a decal on the side of it. I don't know what that says. It says like something towing, like an old tow truck door. But here's the back. Somebody smashed in the rear window. Bumpers damaged in the crash, so I have it hanging at an angle. And I think I went a little too overboard on the bed with these holes. I don't think they should have been that big. I should have made them a little smaller. But it is what it is. I can't really fix that now. But yeah, here's the Datsun. And here is the regular Datsun. It's a little comparison. There is a supercharger hunt variant of this car. I also have that, but I didn't bring it down here. So there you go. Enough with the rusty cars, right? I love making rusty cars. I don't know. It's just my favorite thing to make. Then we have this is my first like tuner sort of build, like actual like custom repaint and everything. This is a Mazda RX-7. As you can see, I love the blue. I just Sharpie markered the back. I don't know, simulate, you know how people put those like, you know, those black covers over their headlights, kind of simulate that. Painted the tailpipe and the bottom and the base. This one I never screwed in or anything or glued in. It's just open. I can take it apart if I want, but because the rivets actually snap together pretty well, and I can take it apart whenever I want. Anyway, detailed the grill. I even added my own Mazda logo, and then the carbon fiber effect I used. Is the paint here? Yeah, it is. This paint. I used this stuff. Testors Graphite Gray Metallic. And I used a piece of screen door. I think I have it right here too. Yeah, this stuff. I just put that over the held it over the hood, sprayed it down, but I made sure, you know, to tape over the other parts so they won't get painted on. And yeah, it kind of gives it like a little carbon fiber checkered look, sort of. The interior was originally this car, so it was all red. I didn't like that very much, so got rid of that and I made it red and black, which I thought looked a little bit better. I actually decided to keep the wheels on this one because I felt they matched the blue, and the blue color is sitting right over here. Actually, it's called, once again, Testors One Coat Lacquer. It's called Deja Blue. I just been in this. No. It's called, yeah, Deja Blue. But yeah, and I gave it a black spoiler, which this one doesn't have. But yeah, here is the two cars side by side. Note that I actually added that on this one. It's not on the stock version. It doesn't have backlight tampos, but there we go. Alright, that one's done. And then this is probably my favorite custom I made. I spent so much time working on this. But this is my Mad Max custom Ford Bronco. I love this thing. I decided the casting might make a good Mad Max vehicle, so I decided to make that into it. Spray painted the body army green. Added rust effects. I cut a slash on the side, like battle damage and stuff with a Dremel. Gave it an army star because I wanted this to look like an old army truck. And then I scraped down the top. I repainted the top. There's the front headlight, the little, whatever those are, those Baja lights. And then I gave it mud splatter effects on the side using an air duster can, those industrial, you know, those spray cans. I squirted that with a little bit of paint, and then the wheels, I did the same, but I sanded down the main tread to make it look like the car was still moving. Cut gashes in the side. If you can see that, the Army Star is still sort of on the car. But, like, you can barely see it. Yeah, it's been covered by mud, but you can still see it from this distance. That's what I was going for. And then we have the front, which I gave it front headlights like that. I kind of like X'd them out with a Sharpie. Kept that in there. And then this grill. I was looking at this old casting I had my junk cars bin. Here's the rest of it, actually. Here's the remaining parts of it. I used the door and something else for it. This poor guy. He's kind of squashed, too. But it was a casting. I think it was called Overboard 454. Sorry. Yeah, Overboard 454. I just cut the front end off with the Dremel because it looks like a pretty bad A-Ram on the front of this, I have to say. That front end of the car can make a really cool looking Ram. So yeah, I use that. And then this is supposed to be like an explosive spear. If anybody's played Crossout, you'll know what that is. It's like a weapon in the game. But I just took that off of some cheap novelty toy, snipped that off and repainted it. And then the front there is a screen door, another piece of screen door for a front, like, windshield guard or something like that. But there you go. This is what it originally started out as. This Ford Bronco. And there's my custom. And then the final custom. Just gonna do a quick recap of this one. This is the Battle Bus for Fortnite. You can see it in a much better camera now. But yeah, I'm still building this one. If anybody plays Fortnite, this is like the battle bus that drops you into the game. Every round you're riding on it for whatever, and then you just drop into the game. It's got a little bit of rust. It's got those little words on the side. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I don't have the base on it yet because I'm still figuring out what to do with the wheels since it has all that stuff going on the top. But here's what it started out as anyway. I think you saw it in the other video, so I'm not going to spend too much time on that one. But there you go. So there you have it. There's all my custom builds and the cars that came from. So hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to my channel for more custom builds. I might even do an actual step build if you guys want. But yeah, I think my customs turn out pretty good, with my few shares of fails along the way. So, but I like my customs. I really do enjoy making Hot Wheel customs as well. And if you have any special requests, you can feel free to ask me to make a custom or something in the comments, and I will happily make it. So, until next time, I will see you later.